And welcome back to another podcast. This is Ghost Stories Told from the South. I am your co-host, Lexi LeBooth.
And I am Stephen Booth, Matt Hardy.
What the heck?
Just kidding. I don't know where that came from. It just kind of came out.
I wish the video was going for that. The freaking sign thing you just did.
I was just joshing around. But hey, guess what, guys? It's September.
Yes, this is our first episode of the first week of September.
Yes.
And this is our 18th episode.
18,
Dun, dun,
baby.
So, yeah. Okay, well, you know how we started it, intro short and stuff. So, we are going to give a bunch of shout outs to the new people. So if you want to hear
A lot
that,
of people in the States.
not just that.
And a lot of Europeans.
So if you want to hear that, just stay tuned to the end. So
Stay tuned for the 40 knocks.
Oh my god.
Are you everybody ready for some creepy stories today? I'm so happy because it's September, cooler weather, Halloween.
I'm so ready for it to not be like 100 degrees all the
Oh, I know. It's so nice to hang out on the back porch and not like literally boil.
Yes. Okay, who's starting, me or you?
Well, you can go. I'm gonna cover El Mucho.
The Headless Horseman.
Yeah, but how do you say that?
El Mucho.
El Mucho.
Muerto.
El Mucho, and the Black-Eyed Children, and Bowden Rd, and then the Dancing Devil
Ooh.
in San Antonio. Yeah, he was at a bar one night dancing with some chicks, getting it on. Yeah, the devil's a freak.
Whoa.
It would be weird if you realized you're really dancing with the devil.
That would be weird. I don't know what I would do. Okay, so I'm gonna kick it off.
All right,
I'm
everybody.
not even gonna attempt to say this place because I can't say it. It's in Italian, but
Don Kadik.
th- I can't say it. It's in Italian, but this
God, no! It's yeah.
yeah. So you guys are just gonna have to like.
Pedel Piscano Shez.
It's the name for a psychiatric place, but it's in Italian, so I don't know how to say it. But this place is in. Are you gonna look it up?
Yeah, I'm just trying to process the.
Oh, okay. This place is in Volterra. It's Italy. So, yeah. So, again, not going to attempt to say the name because I'm going to butcher it and I don't even know how to begin to say it. So, this is in a psychiatric hospital, asylum, whatever you want to call it, place. And this place was closed down due to, like, the cruel treatment that the patients were receiving. So, they got shut down in 1978. Well, if you look at the pictures, and I actually looked at the pictures for once, this place looks like something out of like a horror movie. Like all those abandoned videos and stuff. Like, I don't know if you guys watch those, but I do. That's like what it looks like. It's really weird. So, this place still stands. It's severely vandalized. But you can see wheelchairs. And they have, like, old telephone booths, and they have, like, sunbeds. Like, they have, like, everything there just, like, left behind. So it's cool to, like, see all that. But let's hear some of the history. Okay, so this place was founded in 1888.
Well, son of a.
You good?
Yeah, I didn't realize my mic was so close to my face. And I turned around and BAM!
Okay. So this place was founded.
I think I've seen this hospital, though, on a Paranormal caught on tape.
Yeah.
This guy and his sister was in there, and they started chasing its black mask, and this attacked him. And they hauled ass.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so this place was founded in 1888. So it was founded in 1888, but it was shut down in 1978. So it was open for a good chunk of time. Anyway, so the founder wanted to make this place like self-sufficient, like 99.9% of these places are, and also wanted like him to be able to like work with the patients and like figure out like what was wrong, instead of just being like, okay, you're crazy, you know. Well, he passed away before he could do that, but they said that he like set a currency or whatever for like how it was supposed to run. It didn't run that way though, like it was supposed to. But I mean, because he was dead, no one followed the rules. So yeah. Well, the guy who built it was buried in the cemetery there, so like he haunts the place. Well, and then the 1950s and the 60s, it became one of the largest asylums in Italy. And then they've had at least 6,000 people. And it, yeah, had a lot of
Damn.
people. So, and this is crazy. So they had 20 sinks and 2 toilets to every 200 people.
20 sinks and 2 toilets. What the heck? They got their
Two,
toilets mixed up with their.
but yeah, no, it was like that to every 200 people. So it was like there was very, very few like bathroom stuff. Well, they had like a famous patient, and this famous patient, I guess his name was like Fernando. I guess I don't know how to pronounce stuff. You guys know this by now. Anyway, so they had a famous patient, and I guess what he would do is he would like carve stuff into the walls and like
He was a guava.
yeah. But I don't remember what he did it with because it didn't really say, because this was like in the 1800s, late 1800s, early 1900s. But he would write down, like, he would pretty much put like in words on the walls or like whatever he had in his hands at the time, like his experiences, other people's experiences, how he was mistreated, how the place was horrible and all that. But he is really famous for like the symbols he carved in walls because most asylums still use like those symbols today. So like
So he was an inventor.
pretty much in an asylum, yeah. Okay.
I'd love to go to an old asylum like that. You know that sucker's haunted. You know,
Oh, I
it'd scare
know.
the bejeebies
I
out
would
of you.
love to go to one.
I mean, look
So-
how creepy this place looks.
Oh yeah, no, it looks so creepy. You guys need to look at the pictures. So, this place is famous for its electroshock therapy. Also, I mean, they use other methods, but like this one was like the go-to one, like the one they use like 99.8% of the time. So, they would tie patients to beds in straitjackets. Like they'd be in the straitjackets, like hard to get out of those anyway. But then tie the patient to the bed to be like, oh, if you get out of the straitjacket, now you gotta get out of the tie thing we have to your bed.
That's how I start doing it with the kids.
No. They test us. Okay. Well then.
So not only did they have them tied up in their straitjacket, they was tied up to the bed too.
Yes. And then they would get like letters. This reminds me of The Notebook because like these patients would get letters from the family, but they would conceal the letters. And you wouldn't hear about the letters until like the patient died.
That's
And
crazy.
I saw that and I was like, Notebook. Because of how, yeah, anyway. And then they named this place the place of no return because apparently, like, you go in, you don't come out, you die. So, and then they said overcrowding was a huge issue. I mean, 6,000 people, not 60,000, 6,000 people.
Yeah,
That's
and
a
it was
lot.
probably only built for maybe
Well,
8.
whenever they said like 20 sinks, 2 toilets to 200 people, I was like, okay, there's some math errors. There's no way that place can hold that many people. So, I mean, the hauntings are pretty much the same. As we go on, you're going to notice a lot of the hauntings and a lot of the asylums are pretty much anywhere kind of the same. Like, you know, you'll hear voices and footsteps and, like, doors will shut and open on their own. But they say, like, whenever you enter, like, you just get this overwhelming sense of, like, fear and isolation and, like, sadness. And you can just, like, feel what they feel. And you have that with you until, like, you leave.
Yeah, that place is probably just full of bad, just sad thoughts and just sad all the way around.
Yeah. But it is creepy. And I did find the pictures, like, not enjoyable, but I like them. Yeah, we've already had this discussion about how my asylums are, how I feel about them. But, also sorry if I, like, sound weird. My sinuses are messing with me.
And you're going a lot.
Because I can't breathe. Okay. Stop. Do
Okay.
yours.
What's the matter, Lexi? You're like, this is deers.
I can't
Okay.
breathe, jerk.
My story is on El Mechura, the Headless Horseman of Texas.
Now, is this just in Texas of him, or is it like everywhere?
Well, there's other Headless Horseman stories, but this is the one for Texas.
I.
So, the legend goes a bandit named Valed was a busy outlaw. During the summer of 1850, him and some other men started stealing horses and stuff around the area. He had already had a big bounty on his head for previous stuff he did. Some local Texas Rangers and a local rancher started looking for the bandits. They found them and killed them in their camp. But that wasn't good enough for a Valid. They after they hung him, they sat there and shot him about I don't know how many times. Then they cut his head off. Then they put his body on one of these horses that they stole. Put his body up there and tied his head, put his head in his poncho, his hat, and had his poncho in the saddlebag. And he would ride around. They hit him on the butt, and he'd rode off with. Yeah.
Ugh. See, in one of the stories that I read, because like we accidentally did the same story, but I had Dad do the Horseman instead of me. I read that like they had the horse head, not the horse head, his head like just tied to the horse, or like sewn onto the horse.
Huh.
But I was like,
That's weird.
I don't
How
think
would you
that-
do that?
I don't know. So I was like,
So his head on the horse.
I don't
But
know.
that's still weird. Not only did they chop his body, I mean, cut his head off, then they. Well, then after that, a couple months later, I think, yeah, in Benbolt, a rancher found the horseman with the body on it and gave him a burial and all that stuff. But ever since then, people have been seeing sights of the headless horseman roaming the prairie. They say on a nice moonlit night, you can still see the headless horseman running around
What
out
would
in the
you do if
old
you
West
saw that?
Texas. That would be weird.
Simone,
Even
what
I
would
was
you
reading,
do?
there's travelers that said they've seen them, when they're traveling.
Imagine if the truck. I wonder if the truck drivers have seen them.
Probably.
Oh, you've known they've seen some crazy
God.
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, yeah, I knew that one was gonna be kind of a short story because that's like an urban legend
Yeah.
thing. But
That's why I'm starting to work on doing about 4 stories every episode.
yeah, but I still like it. Simone, what do you think? Huh?
She's
She's
like, I
like,
don't
talk
care.
to me. Okay. I'm gonna do the donkey lady bridge thingy. This is an other urban legend, and I know you guys are probably like, "Oh, Lexi, what are you doing?" Because I never do this stuff.
Donkey.
But I found like 3 or 4 that I liked, and I was like, "I'm gonna do them."
That donkey one's pretty cool.
Why'd you have to cough into the mic like that?
Well, I clean them. You don't.
That's true. I'm bad about that. Okay. So, this is how the donkey lady folklore thingamabobber goes. So, basically, back in the 1950s, a young woman was tragically disfigured in a fire. People think that her husband set fire to, like, cause the fire. It didn't say if it was, like, in her house or whatever, so I don't know about that. But, basically, she got disfigured in this fire. Her fingers were like fused together, and basically like it just created like stumps of her hands, and they look like hoofs from far, far away. So then they gave her the name Donkey Lady. Well, I guess where it happened is with like a bridge or something, because like it's the Donkey Lady / the Donkey Lady Bridge. So I guess it happened around that area because, because they're the legend. So they say that like the bridge is like swampy and overgrown, because I was looking at the bridge and it was also because I saw like a creek thing. But this is also one of those where I've seen like 3 or 4 different versions of this thing, so I don't know. And also, if you visit the bridge after dark and you call out, the donkey lady, she'll appear in front of you.
Donkey lady.
So, and then they apparently have like a secret path behind the bridge, like for further exploration. But I don't know. So, this one's in Houston.
We should start when we do our vacations, plan them around these places to go see.
Yeah. But this one's in Houston. So if you're from the Houston area, go check out and tell us if you see the donkey lady.
Donkey.
That one was short, but you guys know how most of these urban legends go. It's like, do you believe them? Do you not?
Yeah, and it's usually just one folk tale, and there's not really a whole lot to back it up.
But they are fun to hear about.
But we still love to hear about the scary stuff.
Yeah. Okay. You want me to do another one? Because you only have like one more left.
I got two more left.
My bad. So do you want to do another one?
Yes. I'm typing in my black-eyed children.
Okay, so I'll go real quick. Okay. So, ooh, did you hear how I said that? Okay. So this is the Bragg Lights of Saratoga, Texas. So there is a dirt road known as the Bragg Road / Ghost Road. And I've heard of this, but I've like never seen pictures. Well, this place was once a rail line, and it was like connecting the Bragg areas to Saratoga to move like lumber and goods and stuff. Well, accidentally one night, a brakeman got ran over and like his head got chopped off.
The bread man?
The brakeman.
Oh, the brake man. I was like,
the bread man.
Bread man? What the hell's he doing?
No. He got decapitated by the train. So.
I hate it when that happens. It ruins my Saturday night.
Wow.
Sorry if I'm making a bunch of noise, guys. I'm trying to fix something, and I shouldn't do this during podcasting
He should
time.
wait and do it before or after, but he doesn't.
No.
Anyway, so basically, it says that you can like see the outline of like his body.
Yeah.
Of the brakeman holding like a lantern, looking for his head.
Wow, ain't that lovely?
Well, there's like.
Hey, has anybody seen my head?
There's 3 other stories also to this, like why it's like the Bragg Lights. Well, it's also apparently been associated with the bride and groom who were honeymooning at the Bragg Hotel, and the bride was murdered, and then the groom went out to like look for her killer, and he never came back. So that's one of the theories about that. Well, then the other one is it's related to like a lost hunter, and then another one is that it's like part of like a fire, and that's why it's called that.
Fire.
You're weird.
Mm.
So it's just really like I think the first one's like mainly like the truest one, but you know. So.
No, you never know though.
Yeah, you don't ever know.
And especially when you see something like that, you'd be like, "What?"
Yeah. Okay, well, sir, tell us about these black-eyed children.
Them are creepy.
Oh, I know.
If I could get the kids to wear black contacts, I'd do that. Get them to go mess with people.
That's funny.
Okay. This is the black-eyed children of Abilene. The first sighting of the children was in 1996. A man stopped at a movie theater in the parking lot, and he was filling out his check because he was going to go watch a movie. And, of course, if you new kids out there, you millenniums don't know what a check is. Back in the day, there wasn't no debit cards. You had to actually write a check.
I know what a check is.
So that's what this man was doing. Well, he wasn't paying attention, and there was like 3 kids walking up to his car. And they was like wearing hoodies, and you couldn't really make out their face a whole lot. Well, when he didn't notice them, and they knocked on the window, and it startled him. He looked up, and the kids were scared him. He said the kids scared him. They were just so creepy looking, and he couldn't really make out their face exactly at first.
Yeah.
And well, of course, they was like, well, hey, we forgot our money, and we need to ride to the house so we can go get our money. Do you mind if you take us? And he's like, no. Every time he kept saying no, they'd get more frustrated and kept getting closer to the car. Well, the closer they got, the more he could make out their face. And then finally, when he's like, no, I can't help y'all. Leave me alone. The oldest one got up to the car and was like, come on, sir, let us in. And right when he did, he noticed all the kids, because they came up to the car like that to the window. Every one of them, their hoods kind of came back. Every one of them had like black eyes.
Was that us?
That was me when I was doing this with my hands, because I'm talking to her while I'm doing this, and my hands are like, wee, and I smacked my mic. But yeah, when they came up to the glass and was like, yeah, because, they say they come up to your house or your car, and you tell them no, you don't let them in or they'll kill you. But that's what they do. They say, oh, can we use your phone?
That
We
or,
need a
oh,
ride,
I need
or,
help or something
yeah,
like that.
they'll use
Like,
any excuse to let them in.
the Ghost Channel, one of the Ghost channels we watched, they did a story about him at Denny's. I was watching it at Denny's.
Yeah.
It was creepy.
Yeah, they just come out of nowhere.
Yeah. I don't know what I'd do if I encountered one of those. I'd be like,
Well, heck, that one guy was a grown man, and he said they were scaring him.
yeah, I don't know what I would do. I would be freaked out, that's for sure. But, like,
Yeah.
I wonder where, like, they originate from. I mean,
I
but
don't
it's an
know.
urban legend thing, but, like, still. Because that is creepy. It is very, very, very creepy.
I know I said we're not supposed to do this, but I'm getting freaking hot.
He's turning on the fan.
Is it just me or is it getting stuffy?
It is, but it's not. Okay.
Your stuff.
So, now, we are going, or I'm, not we, me, I'm going to be talking about the Candy Lady. Now, I thought this was like the Candy Man. It's a totally different story. Unless, like, they're related. I mean, I think it's a different story. But
There is a story about some candy lady in Houston.
I think, yeah. So, I cannot breathe. My sinuses are killing me. Okay, so, basically, at the turn of the 20th century, children, like, just started going missing, like, just randomly. Well, the people, like, if they turned back up or, like, whatever, they would blame it on the Candy Lady. Turns out, the Candy Lady was somebody who lured children into her home with candy, and then they were never heard from again. Well, the children said that they would, like, wake up in the middle of the night and see, like, candy on, like, their windowsills. And then they didn't want to, like, tell their parents because they didn't want to, like, not get candy anymore, so they didn't say anything. Well, they kept on getting it and getting it. Like, if you were targeted, you kept on getting it and getting it and getting it. But then, like, if I don't, it was kind of difficult, but, like, I guess, like, if you were targeted, like, you got writing on, like, the wallpaper of it, or, like, the wrapping.
The wrapping paper. Candy don't have wallpaper.
I kept on calling it wallpaper, I don't know why.
Why?
The wrapping.
Why do you call it that?
And it would be signed the Candy Lady. So, yeah, that was creepy.
The Candy Lady can.
After a span of like a decade, a handful of children went missing at the hands of this woman. No one knows who she is. No one knows, like, if it's true or not. But a farmer, like, found a piece of candy on the edge of his farm, and it had rotten teeth in it. Well, he called the cops, and they found a body, like, not too far from his house. And it was a child that had been missing, like, for a couple weeks, and it was in a ditch.
God.
And the eyes were stabbed with a fork, and the pockets were filled with candy. And so they blamed the missing children on her. Well, the children believe that if she, targets you with the candy, she'll take you somewhere, then pulls out your teeth and stabs your eyes with the fork. So, don't accept candy from strangers. But I just read that and I was like,
Well, if you think about it, they made a movie off of that.
the Candyman.
No, not the Candy Man, the Tooth Fairy. Think about how that story goes.
Oh my God, stop.
Yeah, that's where they get that.
I don't like that.
So, you gonna tell your kids when you have them at the Tooth Fairy now?
I'm gonna be like, it's me. I'm sorry, guys. Watch a little kid be listening to this and they hear us say that. And you already told them Santa's not real.
Well, I mean, I hope no kids that little's listening to this. And if I did say, I did say that, but if they heard it, you shouldn't be. Some of these score stories are too scary.
Yeah. I mean, but we mess up. We don't tell them scary.
Yeah.
We can't talk. Okay, it's your turn.
All right. We're going to be in Huntsville, Texas this time. There is a road called Bowden Road, known by locals as Demon Road. There are reports of a little boy, but he's been seen crawling around like a spider. Yeah,
A boy crawling
a
around like
little
a
boy
spider?
crawling around like a spider.
No thanks.
And then there was a reporter one day, and an investigator there was trying to take a pic of it. And when they zoomed in, the boy rushed up and vomited some strange substance on the camera and destroyed it.
Ew, what?
Yeah, that's what the report said. And ever since then, the guy who took the picture, the investigator or the reporter, he quit. He never got back into photographing again.
You know what that reminds me of? Like American Horror Story, whenever in the first one, whenever Vivian gets pregnant and the girl who's doing the sonogram apparently this is like the hoofs on her, and she like passes out and she quits being a
Oh,
nurse.
yes.
She's like, I'm sorry, it's too scary.
I can't stand the hoofs. Well, now, it's the same story. Then there's another story of a boy. He's riding a tricycle, and when he turns around or rides your way, he's got red glowing eyes. Some people think it's the devil, pretending to be a boy to lure you in.
That
And
would
then
not
get ya.
surprise me.
And then there's reports of lights and people finding handprints on the back of their vehicle.
Like the baby bridge.
Yeah, they say if you just sit there, you'll feel a bunch like some pressure on the back of your vehicle, and then when you get to wherever and you look on the back, you'll see a bunch of handprints.
Let's go there.
And then they have these feelings that sweep over you when you go on that road. It's just they can't really describe it. It's like scary, scared, just feeling like a kid again. It's just really weird feeling.
I think
And
we need to take a trip to
two,
Huntsville.
that road leads to a cemetery that's also haunted that has a lot of crap going on in it too.
Well, that's great.
There's a man that wanders around there. There's a little boy, and I think there's a woman in that cemetery that wanders around.
Is there a lady in white?
No, I think she's white.
What?
Nothing.
That went right over my head.
So yeah, but it's a real creepy haunted road, and it's like a dirt road out in the back of nowhere. But yeah,
Ew, I don't like that.
I think it'd be cool to kind of start going and taking these places. It's only 30 minutes, and I'm almost done with my What? How are we doing these so fast now?
I don't know.
Because before 4 stories used to take us an hour. We're going to start doing 12?
I don't know.
Because I still got one more left. By
Are
the
we
time you get
talking too
yours
fast?
done, I don't know what we're doing, but that's crazy. Maybe the stories are just that short.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna be doing the Danvers State Hospital in Massachusetts. Danvers.
Oh, Danvers.
Yeah. I cannot breathe. Okay. So this place opened up in 1878, and it was, self-sufficient, isolated, farm and everything. Well, sorry.
She's fixing to cry.
No, I can't breathe at all. My sinuses today. By the late 1930s, they were already filled over capacity. Over 2,600 patients over capacity. And it was only built to support 500 people.
They might be a little bit over their capacity there.
Oh, by a lot. Well, the patients, were like left in nude in their own filth. Sometimes, just doing whatever. Well, by 1942, this guy named Freeman had his perfect lobotomy technique down. or you know what I mean? Like, he thought he had it perfected.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
basically, I forgot to say this at the beginning. This place is where the lobotomy first took off. Like, it was the created. Like, this is where it became a lobotomy place. You know what I mean? Like,
Maybe that guy needed a lobotomy. Let him know how it freaking felt.
I know, right? So anyway, by like 1942, the doctor Freeman had thought he had perfected lobotomies. So he had performed over 200 operations, it destroyed over 200 people. And then by the 40s and the 50s, patients were like subjected to shock therapy and psychosurgery and lobotomies and all that. Well, it said that they closed in the late 1940s, but stuff was still going on in the 50s, so I'm not totally sure when it closed. But there was like multiple buildings because it, self-sufficient. Well, they turned one of the buildings into an apartment complex. They had to renovate it and everything. Well, then the people that lived there started seeing a ghost, like a daily ghost. They feel like they can see former patients in this place, and they can feel their pain, and they can feel like what they felt. Like, it's really weird. And then the normal, the voices and all that.
No normal voices, you know what I mean.
The normal hauntings.
Voices. Just
So.
voices.
But yeah, I thought that was weird how they changed it to like a apartment complex, and then the people that lived there was starting to pretty much feel what it felt like to be at the hospital. I was like, no.
And they probably didn't tell them people, oh, by the way, you're
living in an old
you're living in an
hospital.
old asylum.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how we make the money. Okay. I was like, no.
Yeah, because I'll get my story done. And, two, we'll still got a good 5-6 minutes of saying goodbye and all that and giving shout-outs. So
Yeah.
I figure we can do that for 10 minutes.
Okay. Just talk, I guess.
Okay, well, it's my turn now. My story is about...
Picking my butt. Dude, quit touching the mic.
I'll do what I want to do. I'm a grown man. I'm a big boy. Anyways, I've got... This story I have is about the... it's called The Dancing Devil of El Camaroncito, San Antonio. A nightclub called El Camaroncito nightclub in San Antonio on Halloween night in 1975. The story goes like this: he was a great looking man came in that night.
Yeah.
I mean, just picture perfect. I mean, everything. Dressed just right, talked just right, was a good dancer and all that. And everybody was just wooed to him, I mean, all the girls were like, man. Well, as the night went on, all the girls were dancing with him and all that, and he was making his rounds. Well, just so happened when he was dancing real close to one of the girls, she was dancing and happened to look down, and when she did, she noticed his feet have turned into hooves. And when she jerked away, hooves, like hooves.
Okay.
And when she noticed and jerked away from him and screamed real loud and started screaming and yelling and pointing at his feet, he said, the people there said, everybody looked and stopped and looked at him, and he just screamed real loud, and he ran to the man's bathroom and left out of the window. But when he left like some smoke was still in the air, and it smelled like sulfur bad. And they say that's a sign of the devil.
Oh my God! And that's what was in Helltown.
Yeah.
That's that's great.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to dance with the
But
devil.
yeah, that's happened in public. There was a Halloween night, and of course they was all having a, Halloween party at this nightclub, and the devil decided to show up, and
was like,
it was in the newspapers even.
I think he was looking for his next victim.
Yeah.
But then he got caught.
He got caught like a coppers. Caught by the coppers.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, by the time you do yours, it'll be about 40 minutes, and then we'll ramble.
Alright, okay.
So talk really slow like this to make
No.
it fast. I'm so excited about September and October, guys.
I'm really excited for October.
I stayed up
to
till
be
2
here.
o'clock in the morning doing research, getting all this some more scary stuff.
You know where I was at 2 o'clock? At the river.
Yeah, you was at the river
Okay, so
looking for ghosts
shut up.
and sleeping bags.
I'm gonna I'm gonna be doing a place in Australia.
Australians.
This is the Monte Cristo Homestead. This is in New South Wales.
Oh, if you haven't noticed, Lexi's starting to go out of the United States now.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah. Have you noticed she's always the first one? Like when we first did this. Oh, Dad, I know we're just going to do stories from the South, but I'm going to do the Queen Elizabeth. It's in California. Yeah, I know.
What can I say? Okay, so I didn't find any history really on this place. Like, I found when it was built, and I found some incidents that happened, and some deaths, but I didn't find, like, a lot. So, I'm sorry about that. But basically, this place was built in 1884. Violent attacks, like, happen all the time. Okay, so, sorry, we had to do a little break. Anyway, but yeah, so violent attacks happen all the time in this place. Once there was a maid that literally plummeted to her death from an upstairs balcony. And then, after she died, after she, way to go. After she, fell and, had hit the floor, a figure of a woman, in a different period of, a dress. You see somebody, in a different decade or whatever, was seen, walking in her blood on the stairs. Well, then, another tragedy happened.
Wake up.
Excuse me. A stable boy was burnt to death by...
A sailor boy.
A stable boy was burnt to death by his own master. And then, the owners, they died. The man died of old age, and the woman had,
Is this it?
Yeah. And the woman, I think, had, a ruptured appendix.
Appendix.
Something like that. So, yay. Sorry, this episode probably sucks. As you can tell, I have
No,
sinuses.
it's pretty good.
I can't talk.
I think it's
with
been
breath.
pretty good. See, it's pretty interesting. What would you do if you got a house like that?
Like with the history?
Yes, with that much history.
Well, honestly, compared to half the history we have in some of these stories, that ain't nothing. But with the violent attacks that they have in there.
Yeah. It's like, oh.
Yeah. They say there's 5 or more ghosts that haunt that place, but
That's
couldn't
a
find
lot.
I couldn't find a lot on it. So,
Well, that's just it. On some of these, that's why I'm getting where I'm trying to do at least 4 or 5 an episode, because some of that stuff we can research, we can find out and get a page full of stuff.
and so others
Some
you
stuff,
can't.
it's like maybe a paragraph or two. They just only cover when it was built, the big events that happened, and why it's haunted.
Pretty much.
So,
So,
but I think it was a fun episode today. It's going to get even better, guys, with September. I just love Halloween and stuff. I wish it stayed around a lot longer.
I know, and we're gonna do the same thing for Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Yeah.
So,
So we got we got to do our special for September, right?
no,
No, we don't, because that's part 2 of the Wendigo.
yeah, we gotta do it for October though. Okay.
Yes.
So we're gonna let you guys go, but not before we tell you about our stuff. So
Yes. We are
Make
on
sure-
Spotify, Stitcher,
I wasn't gonna talk about that. You could talk about that.
Patreon,
Google Play.
Podbean, Google Play, Apple.
Apple Podcasts.
We're trying to get on Amazon and iHeart right now, so.
You guys make sure to check out our Instagram and Twitter at South Texas Ghost, and then check out our Facebook at Ghost Stories Still from the South. And then if you want to email us, it's ghoststoriesstillfromthesouth@gmail.com.
Yes.
And I want to do a big thank you to everybody listening to us. We have so many people in the States.
Oh, the states list is getting bigger. Every day there's at least 1 or 2 more states that add on.
And then they get bigger and larger too.
Yes.
So And then I'm going to go and list the others, and hopefully I didn't miss any. We got South Africa. We got Ireland. We got the Philippines. We got Singapore. We got Argentina. We got New Zealand. We got Canada. We got Israel. We got the UK. And we got Bangladesh.
Oh, Canada. I only say that because that's my national anthem, I know.
So, we hope that you guys like us and continue to like us.
We know it's real fun. I stayed up to like 2 last night getting about 20 stories together, so I got a lot of good stuff coming. A lot of urban legends, a lot of folklore, a lot of stuff about roads and bridges. You know me, I don't cover many houses.
I need to try working on finding some more like interesting, like in-depth stuff, because for me, this was not cutting it. But hope you guys enjoyed it. And I promise next time I will not sound like I just woke up.
I hope it don't scare you guys too much.
Well, we'll catch you guys in a
But
week.
if you guys have been listening to this, you've been listening to Ghost Stories Told from the South. I am your host, Stephen LeBooth, and this is my co-host,
Lexi LeBooth.
It's been fun. It's been real, guys. Don't be too scared tonight when you go to bed. Remember, the headless guy could be running around out there.
The candy lady.
The candy lady. There's so many new folklores and legends out there to keep you little ghouls and guys going.
Have a nice night. See you guys next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.